Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having just an absolutely magnificent day today. Today I want to take a look at my favorite 10 mechs, including variants from the BattleTech TRO from 325. For you folks, this was the first one that was published, and so forth. I got my notes here on my phone. And so basically the idea here is that I'm going to be doing my favorite 10 mechs, including variants from the first Technical Readout. This is basically for folks that are new to the game, where you get your mechs that you're going to pilot. You get their information, their weapons, where they're located at in the mech, the weapons, the armor that they have, the equipment they may have, and so forth. And this is during the era before the Fourth Succession War. Sort of will both destroy the world and bring it back together in a few weird ways and such too. Right, this is a couple hundred years after the fall of the Star League, right after 2750. So it's a fun stuff. And so basically what I'm going to be doing is giving you my top 10 mechs. Now, as a reminder, the mechs here are divided into 4 different classes. The light classes are the ones that are like 20 to 35 tons. They're typically very, very fast, hard to hit for those reasons, lightly armored and lightly armed. So it's easy. So if you do hit them, it's very easy to penetrate them, as well as they have less weapons on them too. So those are the light ones. They're more about reconnaissance and keeping people away, back attacks, flanking attacks, that sort of a thing. The medium mechs are from 40 tons to 55 tons. They are more of the workhorses of the inner sphere. They're things, they'll typically have an okay speed, an okay armament, okay armor, that sort of a thing. And they're typically the workhorses, if you will, that do a lot of different roles, do a lot of different things, and that sort of a thing. Then you have the heavy mechs from 60 tons to 75 tons. Those are all about, just blowing through stuff, taking care of business. They have really strong roles on the battlefield. And then the assault mechs are the last ones from 80 to 100 tons. Those are the heavyweights. These are the nasty creatures of battle mechs and so forth. And so remember, these are mechs that are being piloted by MekWars. They have 2 skills, gunnery and piloting. Piloting skill is used for things like maneuvers, taking too much damage, trying to stay standing, trying to stand up. Also for physical attacks like kicking or punching. And then you can also use it. Your gunnery is used for all your typical attacks, your ranged attacks, and so forth. And so you want to manipulate the battlefield into having the best attacks for you, but horrible attacks for your opponent, if you will. Right. Also, there are 3 types of weapons: energy weapons that make tons of heat but are pretty light and have good damage. Then ballistic weapons like auto cannons and machine guns and Gauss rifles, after they're rediscovered from level 2 tech from the Star League era, and those are all about heavy. The other ones, non-Gausses, are all about having heavy weights. But good damage and light heat. They're all about that. But their issue is obviously, that heavy weight that you have to go to, and they have and because they have ammo, that'll explode and such. And also, it'll run out pretty quick on ACs. But machine guns have tons of armor, have tons of ammo. It has like 200 shots per ton. You rarely roll into it. And then you have the missiles, short range and long range missiles, and these will fire in salvos. They'll also have weapons too, and then they hit in spread damage rather than just concentrated damage, like an auto cannon or a laser or an energy weapon. Right. So it's good about finding criticals once you've penetrated the armor. They're very strong about, finishing mechs and that sort of a thing. And there are a lot of missile mechs that do good stuff, whether they're closing SRMs or long-range ones, LRMs, and so forth. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with my top 10 mechs. And I've reminded those folks, and for folks that are new to the game. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the first one. It is the Assault Class 100 Atlas AS7D. This is the default Atlas. in the book. For you folks, this is all about just absolutely destroying things. It's got tons and tons of armor. It's hard to penetrate. With 100 tons, it's got the maximum amount of armor. The heavier you are, the more armor you can have. It's slow, and so it's very hard for it to maneuver into position. But once it's there, it's going to blow you up. It's got the biggest gun in the air in an AC-20. It does 20 damage a shot. It's got an LRM-22, tons of great weapons at all the different ranges, and so forth. It's an absolute destroyer of hopes. It's definitely something I can do a one-shot kill. The reason why it's back here are two reasons. Well, actually three. One is that because it's 100 tons, it's actually, if you're choosing your mechs by weight, it can be a little harder, right, to take it. Also, its battle value, if you recall, is huge because it has and can do so many different things. It has all these weapons, all the armor you would want. It's heavy. It'll do massive damage in physical attacks, which are based on your size. So it's an absolute nasty thing, right, to deal with. And so for those reasons, its battle value is very, very high, and also it's pretty pricey on the secondary market if you're just trying to buy them or sustain them with a campaign. So, and then it's the obvious choice too. So there's four secret reasons. So there's the reasons why it's back here at number 10, but it is ending up the top 10 list. And then number 9 is a very, very different mech. It's the Spider. This is a 30-ton mech. It's the SDR F5. It's FV rather, which is the typical variant. It's got 2 medium lasers. It's the fastest mech in the sphere in this era with an 8 movement. And so, for example, if you move, if you walk, you're only getting +1s. But if you walk 7, which is 8 plus a torso change, or just moving it up a train or into light or something like that, it'll be +3 for somebody to hit you, but just +1 for you to hit them. So a Spider's all about maneuvering, scouting, and so forth. It doesn't have the best armor in the world for a 30-ton mech, but it's all about that speed. And then it has 2 medium lasers, and they're in the center torso, which means you can punch. You can't use weapons from armors at the same time and use a physical weapon from them too. So if you have your weapon in a leg, you can't kick with that leg, right? So typically people will want to put their weapons in their arms for torso twists, but I don't like them. So what I like to do here is you can actually use your arms for punching, which gives you 2 more attacks. Also, because they're in a center torso rather than the right or left, you can actually, it's harder to take them out, and they'll defend against gyro hits or engine hits that happen too. It's an absolute classic and absolutely hard to hit for those reasons. And if you do it well, you can definitely do some damage with a Spider. The default variant. The next one is the beloved heavyweight 65-ton Thunderbolt. This is the default one, the TDR-5S for your focus is all about closing and destroying people. It's got tons of armor. It's hard to crack its nut. It's got tons and tons of weapons, particularly close range stuff. It's all about closing up and smashing people in the face. It's a great mech. People love it. A lot of people have that as their top one. But for me, it's on my top 10. Yeah, absolutely. But it's more of my number 8. I feel there are some better mechs that are all about closing and breaking people. Also, a key thing here that I like with the Thunderbolt is that it also has some great weapons at different levels of the battlefields and so forth. Like it's got an auto cannon, it has energy weapons, right, missiles. It's got a nice spread of weaponry level lots for those reasons. So that's the number 8 mech, the Thunderbolt. The number 7 mech is a very, very different mech. We're going back to the light mechs. And this is the Panther PNT9R. For you folks, this Panther is a very, very different sort of mech because it's, again, typically you expect the lighter mechs to be all about that speed, like the Spider. This one actually sacrifices some speed for better weapons. It's got a PPC, which is, again, lighter, has a lot of heat because of that reason. It does 10 damage. It's the longest range energy weapon of this era, and it does a lot of damage, like AC-10. Great stuff, but it's on a 4.64 body, and it's also very well armored too. And it's got an SRM4 for folks that try to close in or to find those criticals that it made, right, and so forth. So it does have a close-in weapon. In case people do, I do like that's a little different than you might expect. As a fire support roll, love it lots. It's very, very light. Got that great PPC. And so forth, and that is the Panther, the PNT 9R for you, folks. Now another fire support roll, everybody loves me too, is number 6, and that's the Archer, the 2R, the ARC 2R Archer. Archers are all about that fire support. They have 2 LRM-20s, the largest LRMs Rex in the game. They have 2 of them. They got some Ranger. They got some medium lasers for people that try to close in. 4 of them were the 2 of them are facing the rear, so you can only use somebody actually, tries to hit your rear arc and that sort of a thing. So I do like how great they are. They also got great armor, great stuff. 4.6s that are heavy mechs, and they're definitely one of the best fire sports mechs out there. Love them lots. That's the Archer 2. Now the rest of them are all top 5 stuff. So number 5 is the Battlemaster. The Battlemaster is my favorite assault mech in this era. It's an 85-ton master of battles. It's exactly like it sounds. It is the best mech, in my opinion. I like it better other than the Thunderbolt or the Atlas. It's just closing in and destroying things. It also has some range weapons too, in case you just want to hit them while you're closing too. So it has all that sort of thing, just like the Uri has bunch of different things, or the Atlas does too. But it's definitely a nasty thing. It's hard to crack with all of its armor. As an assault mech, it has a tons of damage for physical attacks too. Love it lots. So that's the Battlemaster for you, folks. Love it lots. Then the BRL, that's the BLR 1G Battlemaster. And then the next one might be a little surprised, but it's definitely more of a pet of mine. And this is a 40-ton Whitworth. It's a medium mech. It's the best fire support. It's the lightest fire support mech, in my opinion, with 2 LRM 10 racks and 3 medium lasers that face forward. And it also has some pretty strong medium laser, 3 of them facing forward. 2, and it's got some good armor too. And that's the WTH1 for you folks. And there's a variant of it that I also like working with this one. And that's a variant that replaces, swaps out the LRMs for SRM racks instead for finding those holes and so forth. And with the 3 medium lasers, it's more of a closing mech again. It's got great armor, but not the fastest mech at 4.64. It does have jump jets to get it into positions and such, just like the Spider has them, or my number 1. We'll have them too, which I like. But it's also, it needs a 5.85 movement. But it's okay for the closing out ones. But I like both of these variants. I especially like them working together on the same battlefields. Number 3 is the Hunchback, the HBK 4G. There are a bunch of variants, but this one is all about that biggest gun. Remember, the biggest gun in the era is the AC-20, so it's all about an AC-20, and then it's going to be shooting all that damage. It's got a couple of tons of armor, and that's it. So it's got 10 shots of it. So you'll need to take those right. It does have some backup weapons, medium lasers. So it does have some backup weapons to try to, take care of the holes that I found with the AC-20. It's all about that AC-20. It's a slower mech at 4.6, not even jump jets like the Whitworth, but it's got tons and tons of armor. It is very, very tough to crack this 50-ton mech. It's a medium mech, love it lots. And then Number 2 is the highest scoring non-variant. It's the ON-1K Orion. The Orion was the favorite mech of Kerensky, who was the guy who was the general of the defense force. It's my favorite book, not non-variant for you folks. Absolutely love it. It's a heavy mech. It's one of the heaviest mechs out there. It has tons of armor. It has an LRM-15 and an PPC. So it's great at fire support. And you can actually assign it to a fire support lance that you have, because you have 3 lances typically in a company. One of them is typically dedicated to fire support of the 4 units and so forth. And it will be absolutely great in that area. But what it does is it protects, because it can just wade right on into battle, right like a Thunderbolt, right like a Battle Master, right like an Atlas. She's way right on into damage because it's got too much armor. And it's got a ton of weapons for close range stuff too. So it's great at all the ranges. So you can sit back and fire support, or you can just close and just blow people away, right? And so I love how versatile the Orion is. Love a lot. That's the default. And now my highest scoring one is my highest scoring one. It's my absolute favorite of favorites for you folks. And this is a variant. It's the Javelin 10F, JVN 10F. It replaces it has as a default, it has SRM systems, 2 SRMs, and then it replaces those with 4 medium lasers and has better armor for 30-ton 6.96 mag. Love it lots. It's just so great at back attacks and rear attacks. Right, many people may only have like 5 or 6 or 7, even 10 on the higher armored mechs in their rears. So you definitely go critical in one strike and so forth. But the issue is that because they're medium lasers, instead of SRMs, this can go overheat very fast. So you have to protect your heat. You know, for example, if you jump off hole 6, that's 6 heat. And then if you fire all 4 medium lasers, that's 12 heat. So you've made 18 heat, and you're only dispersing 10 of that. So you're going to go overheat by 8. So you definitely need to get your heat. You probably want to do it every other turn and so forth. And once you upgrade to 30-25 Lost Tech, 30-50 Lost Tech or Starling Tech, you will want to embrace the heat sinks. This mech is perfect except for its heat. And once you have double heat sinks, you can just beat all that heat. Remember, one of the good things about heat, about energy weapons, is that they don't have any ammos that you have to worry about exploding or anything else that are great behind battlefields and terrains and that sort of thing. So that's the number 1 mech in my heart. And then on the charts too, it's the Javelin 10F, which has replaced a variant. So here are once again my favorite 10 mechs from the 30-25 era. Number 10, the Atlas, the AS7D. Number 9, the Spider, the 5V variant, the Thunderbolt, and that's the 5S. Number 7 is the Panther. This is the PNT 9R variant. Number 6 is the Archer. It's the 2R variant. It's the default one. Battlemaster 1G, the Whitworth 1. Although a shout out to the variant. And then the Hunchback 4G. And then the Orion 1K, and then the Javelin 10. Love them all lots. For you folks. So what are your favorite ones? Have you played those? Do you agree or disagree with my list? What are yours? Let me know. This is just mine, right? And while I do like BattleTech, and I've been playing since I was a kid in junior high. I started playing it in 9th grade, but you know, and that's when I picked up this TRO. What are your favorite ones from this? You know, this technical readout and such, or the era if you don't have it, or if you had one of the more modified ones that updates a lot of the things, like having a 27, 50 times that of down tech, level 1 max techs and stuff like that. So that's fine too. Let me know what your thoughts are. Right, be fine with it. But I'd be happy to talk with you further about it in the comments below, whatever your thoughts are, and whatever you agreed with my thoughts. And if you like this video, why not hit the like button, the bell icon if you're feeling frisky, the subscribe button, and then let your friends know, BattleTech friends, right, and such, and all that sort of things. Good stuff. All right, and then finally, I want to thank you so much, for taking some time out of your day and investing in watching my video, right? Because we all have so many things that are happening, right, in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it much. So thanks again. And as a reminder, this channel's name is The Worst Thing About New Books. It's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, which has a lot of the classics and so forth are oftentimes are forgotten about because of our passion for new books. And this is definitely a very influential TRO too, that we've all, because of the unseen and stuff like that. It's very, very influential. In this case, it's a book. That's a rule book, not a book, but you still get the idea. All right, so there you are. Thanks again, and have an amazing day.